Boast not yourself of tomorrow, for you don't know what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loathes a honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man that wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so does the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Your own friend and your father's friend forsake not, neither go into your brother's house in the day of your calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproaches me. A prudent man foresees the evil, and hides himself, but the simple pass on, and are punished. Take his garment, that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. He that blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hides her, hides the wind, and the ointment of his right hand that beways itself. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoso keeps the fig tree will eat the fruit thereof, so he that waits on his master will be honored. As in water face answers to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. As the fining pot for silver, and the furnace for gold, so is a man of his praise. Though you should bray a fool in a mortar among wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks, and look well to your herds. For riches are not forever, and does the crown endure to every generation? The hay appears, and the tender grass shows itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for your clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And you will have goat's milk enough for your food, for the food of your household, and for the maintenance for your maidens. The wicked flee when no man pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. For the transgression of the land many are the princes thereof, but by a man of understanding and knowledge the state thereof will be prolonged. A poor man that oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain that leaves no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Better is the poor that walks in his uprightness, than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoso keeps the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shames his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he will gather it from him that will pity the poor. He that turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer will be an abomination. Whoso causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he will fall himself into his own pit, but the upright will have good things in possession. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that has understanding searches him out. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. He that covers his sins will not prosper, but whoso confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man that fears always, but he that hardens his heart will fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. The prince that wants understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hates covetousness will prolong his days. A man that does violence to the blood of any person will flee to the pit, let no man stay him. Whoso walks uprightly will be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways will fall at once. He that tills his land will have plenty of bread, but he that follows after vain persons will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he that makes haste to be rich will not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. He that hastes to be rich has an evil eye, and considers not the poverty that will come upon him. He that rebukes a man afterwards will find more favor than he that flatters with the tongue. Whoso robs his father or his mother, and says, "It is no transgression," the same is the companion of a destroyer. He that is of a proud heart stirs up strife, but he that puts his trust in the Lord will be made fat. He that trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walks wisely, he will be delivered. He that gives to the poor will not lack, but he that hides his eyes will have many a curse. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. He that being often reproved hardens his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Whoso loves wisdom rejoices his father, but he that keeps company with harlots spends his substance. The king by judgment establishes the land, but he that receives gifts overthrows it. A man that flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous do sing and rejoice. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool utters all his mind, but a wise man keeps it in till afterwards. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lightens both their eyes. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne will be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yeah, he will give delight to your soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keeps the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Do you see a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him. He that delicately brings up his servant from a child will have him become his son at length. An angry man stirs up strife, and the furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride will bring him low, but honor will uphold the humble in spirit. Whoso is partner with a thief hates his own soul. He hears cursing and bewrays it not. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoso puts his trust in the Lord will be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment comes from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who has ascended up to heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fists? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if you can tell? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield to them that put their trust in him. Add not to his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things have I required of you, Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny you and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant to his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses their father and does not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horseleech has 2 daughters, crying, Give, give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied. Yea, 4 things say not, It is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that says, It is enough. The eye that mocks at his father, and despises to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley will pick it out, and the young eagles will eat it. There be 3 things that are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 that I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth, and says, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 that it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigns, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be 4 things that are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make they their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands. The spider takes hold with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. There be 3 things that go well, yea, 4 are comely in going. A lion that is strongest among beasts, and turns not away from any. A greyhound, and a he-goat also, and a king, against whom there is no rising up. If you have done foolishly in lifting up yourself, or if you have thought evil, lay your hand upon your mouth. Surely the churning of milk brings forth butter, and the wringing of the nose brings forth blood, so the forcing of wrath brings forth strife. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not your strength to woman, nor your ways to that what destroys kings. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink to him that is ready to perish, and wine to those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open your mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he will have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax, and works willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and gives meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength, and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle goes not out by night. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She makes herself coverings in tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes fine linen and sells it, and delivers girdles to the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she will rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looks well to the ways of her household, and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but you excel them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord, she will be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Hallelujah.